Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Gabe. I freaking love basketball as well as music. I have a music channel which I'll link in the description of this video. But I kind of just want to come on here and give my thoughts on Oklahoma City Thunder versus Los Angeles Lakers game that happened last night, game one of the conference semis. I went to the game last night. That's where I got the playoff shirt. Shout out to my boy Caleb for giving me that ticket, by the way. He's awesome. But yeah, it was an awesome game, and I just want to give my thoughts on it, especially since I got to see it in person in real life. So let's go. So this was it was a pretty convincing win by the Oklahoma City Thunder. They ended up winning by 18 points here, 108 to 90. And like I said, it was very convincing. I will say the Lakers did a pretty good job at keeping it at least somewhat competitive. It was very competitive through 2.5 quarters. About the halfway through the third quarter mark, it started to get, Thunder started to warm up a little bit more, and the Lakers were losing it a little bit. But up until then, like it was a very competitive game. They kept it within, you know, single digits for a long time, and there would be times where the Thunder would get to a 10 to 12 point lead, and then it'd come back down. Maybe it would go back up to a 10 to 12 point lead, then it'll come back down. And I actually think the Lakers were within 5 or 6 points at one point. Actually, in the third quarter, I think it might have been. And then I think they got it down to like a 5 or 6 point game, and then after that, just got out of hand, and the Thunder really, really took over from there. But I think the main reason that is like I just don't think the Lakers' depth. I, I mean, it's not really that existent, right? So like when you get down to playing that long, the fatigue sets in for the starters, and then outside the starters for the Lakers, they don't have anybody to really compete with the depth of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the depth of the Thunder played really well today. I mean, the bench unit was awesome for them. Jay Will gave him some really valuable minutes. He only had 3 points, and what do you have here? Yeah, we had 7 boards. That's pretty good, and five defensive rebounds, 2 offensive. Not bad. But he was also very effective defensively over there against Jackson Hayes and DeAndre Ayton too as well. Cason Wallace had a pretty solid day. Alex Crusoe, Isaiah Joe, um, Jared McCain was very good coming off the bench. 4 for 7 from three, and only 15 minutes too. 12 points, only 15 minutes. Yeah, he was very good, especially in that third quarter. I think he hit three threes in that third quarter, kind of like back to back to back, which was pretty dope. So yeah, the Thunder's bench gave them a lot of valuable minutes, while the Lakers bench just really could not keep up all that well. Which I mean is to be expected. They don't have a very deep team. It's just concerning because if you want to be taken serious at all, which not a lot of people are to begin with, but if you do want to be taken serious at all, and you want people to consider you a contender to some extent, you're gonna have to have a bench that is competent in some way. Yeah, Luke Kennard go 1 for 4 from the field, 1 for 3 from three. Jackson Hayes was 1 for 3. Jake LaRavia 50%. Jared Vanderbilt 50%. I mean, the whole bench together only took 11 shots, and they only made four. Like that is really bad. And again, like if you're the Lakers, you're not really relying on your bench. But when you play a team as deep as the Thunder, where they can sit out Shea or even Chet for a while, and then they don't even have to really worry about the other team coming back into the game very much, and they know that their bench can keep it at least to the same score, in terms of like separation that it was. It's a very dangerous game to play. And shout out to LeBron, man. He had a very good game. That was my first time seeing LeBron in person, and he had like low key a vintage LeBron performance. Shot 70% from the field, 50% from three. 27 points, man. 27 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. He was very good. Even a steal in there. He was very good, and it still just was not enough to keep the Lakers in the game. And I honestly think a big part of that reason is because you lean on Austin Reeves heavily to be that second guy right now. You don't have Luca, so you need Austin Reeves to step up and be that guy that scores 20 to 25, sometimes even 30. When you need him to. And he just was not that in this game. He had 35, almost 36 minutes played, and shot 3 for 16 from the field, 18%, 0 for 5 from three. I mean, yeah, it was not very great. 8 points, 6 assists though, 5 rebounds. But you want more. You want more out of Austin Reeves. You need more out of Austin Reeves if you want to compete in this series really at all. DeAndre Ayton actually had a pretty solid day. It doesn't look solid, but he started off 5 for 5 from the field and then proceeded to miss his next 7 shots in a row. But overall, like, still not bad. 12 rebounds, like 5 offensive rebounds. Like, he was dominating the offensive board very well. Had 10 points in this one. Not bad. Rui had 18. He played very well as well too. 50% from three. Yeah, he played really well. But outside of LeBron and Rui and like first half DeAndre Ayton, this team didn't really have a whole lot. I mean, Marcus Smart took a little too many shots. I love Marcus Smart. Go Pokes. That's my man. But yeah, he took a little more than I think you would like him to. 2 for 8 from three, 25%, 4 for 15 from the field overall. Still had 12 points, still had more points than Austin Reeves did. So I guess that's something for the Lakers. And I mean, he gave a lot of effort defensively, as he always does, But I don't know, man. I just think, and I had my concerns, especially about Austin Reeves before the series started. I was talking to one of my friends actually yesterday before the game and before I drove to Oklahoma City to watch the game. And I was telling him, I was like, man, the more I think about it, the more I'm just not sure about Austin Reeves really being that impactful in this series. And he's a Lakers fan, so obviously, he was going to say what he's going to say. But he felt not very, but he felt pretty confident that Austin Reeves could be effective in this series and could be, you know, the guy that we expect him to be. Like I said, the 2025 point per game guy and carry him to that, even if that means that they don't win the series overall because they still would need more than that. But I don't know. I feel very iffy about him before the series started. One, because of rust, because I think he's still trying to bounce off of that rust that from all that time that he missed. Um, and I know that he played. I think he only played like 2 or 3 games in the Rockets series. I think 3 games in the Rockets series, which is like, I don't know. I think you still probably need more time to bounce off the rust. And then it doesn't help that he might need to be bouncing off the rust. And this is the real reason why I was very concerned about him being effective in this series is because the Thunder perimeter defenders is endless. It's endless. They put Lou Dort on him. They put Cason Wallace on him. Alex Caruso. Obviously Shea was guarding him a little bit. They put all of these different guys on him, and he just was not effective whatsoever. I mean, as I just read off his stats, he missed so many shots. I think he was 0 for 5 from three, like I said. 0 for 5 from three, 3 for 16 overall. Like, that is not very good, man. And if you were just there watching it, you could just see he just was not comfortable whatsoever. I mean, every time he got a chance to take a shot, those Thunder guys were right there in his face. There was even a couple of possessions where Jared McCain was guarding him, and Jared McCain did a pretty good job. Like, got a hand up, you know what I mean? Got a good contest on Austin Reeves, and you don't even expect that from Jared McCain. You know what I mean? Like, you're expecting that from Caruso, like I said, Caruso, Wallace, Dort. You're expecting that from those guys, but you're not expecting it from McCain. But even McCain did a good job at guarding Austin Reeves, and it really threw Austin Reeves off. And he just again was not feeling it. They didn't allow him to feel it. They didn't allow him to get comfortable at all in this game, and it was very. It was a very, very, very troublesome game from him. And I mean, I'm not going to put it out there that I think that this series is going to be a sweep. I think the Lakers can probably steal at least one game, at least when they go back home. And I'm kind of hoping for it because my friends and I were talking about going to a game 5, possibly if there is a game 5. But yeah, man. Hey, Chet had a really good game, man. Chet had 24, 12, 1 assist, 3 blocks. Like he had a very good game. It's starting to look like from this postseason run that Chet's a playoff riser. I think we might need to see him against more impressive teams than what he's played so far. But man, he's been very good. Shots, hey, 2 for 2 from three, 2 for 2 from three, man. If you can get that more consistently, that's 4 for 4 from the free throw line too. He had a really good game. He had a very good game, man. And I mean, that's what you like to see, especially because Shea didn't have the most impressive day himself. Let's see, he had 18 points, 8 for 5, or not 8 for 5, 8 for 15 from the field. Not bad. 0 for 1 from 3-point line, 2 for 3 from the free throw line. 6 assists, 2 rebounds. So like it's not a bad game. Like it's actually a solid game, but for Shea standards, you expect more out of it. And I mean, even if you were just watching it, you could tell Shea was a little thrown off altogether. Like he just wasn't feeling it as much. He still hit some very impressive mid range shots. I mean, he's just so freaking good. But yeah, you could tell he wasn't feeling it all the way. So it was very big that Chet really stepped up and again really kind of took over a little bit. That to having 24, 12, and 3, that is huge. And I mean, even outside of that, AJ Mitchell had a very good game. AJ Mitchell had a very good game, man. And I mean, he shot 7 for 16 from the field. Not the greatest, but not bad whatsoever either. He had a very good game. He stepped up as well. Awesome for him. He couldn't knock down a three ball, but that's okay. That's okay. We're not worried about a three ball, man. That's minuscule. If you take out the threes, he shot 6 for 11 from the field. So not bad. Not bad. So yeah, he really stepped up for him. Hartenstein, 3 for 3. Dort, 2 for 5 from three. Not bad at all. You want to continue seeing that. Casey Wallace wasn't very efficient from the 3 point line, but that's okay. Neither was Caruso. Isaiah Joe, I mean, 1 for 3. Not bad from three. And then 4 for 5 from Jared McCann, as I said. He was just so good in that game, man. He was awesome for him off the bench. And there was there was a moment in there because they were doing a good job at stopping Shea. The Lakers defense was. They just kept doubling him. And not to say that they were just kind of like let everybody else beat us, because I think that they know better than that. I think that they know that they need more than just like let everybody else beat us to beat the Thunder. But they did a good job at doubling Shea and still being able to close out on defenders who were open, that they had left open. So shout out to them. So shout out to them for that. Again, stopping him to only 18 points. That's very good. You will take that every single time, man. But again, then you had AJ Mitchell on the other end who was making shots as well. So that didn't really help you out whatsoever. And there was a little stretch in there where I think it was in the third quarter, as the Lakers were kind of bringing it back within 5 points. And AJ Mitchell had the ball a couple times. I think he missed like three threes in a row, and they were all good looks. Like they were open looks, but he still missed them. So in my mind, I was like, actually, I said it out loud to my friend next to me, and I was like, dude, why don't they just like run it with Jerry McCain? Because he was running next to Jerry McCain. I'm like, Jerry McCain's a capable ball handler too. He's a capable bucket maker, and AJ's not knocking him down right now. Like, well, why don't we go to Jerry McCain? Especially because he only had 1 3 up to that moment. He hadn't had a lot of run. And then literally like as I was saying that, AJ passed the ball to Jared and he knocked down a three. And then very next possession, he knocked down another three. And I think 2 or 3 possessions later, maybe he knocked down another three. And I was like, man, I'm really like that. I can I can diagnose, when a team needs to switch it up a little bit. So shout out to them for that as well. That was pretty that was pretty awesome. But yeah, this is a worrisome game if you're the Lakers, for sure, especially because they had a really good game for their standards. This was actually a pretty good game. They were doing great at shutting out Shea. They kept it competitive for most of the parts. Really, just the whole fourth quarter wasn't competitive, but up until then, it was a pretty competitive game, man. It was a pretty competitive game. They did the best they could. If we're just being honest, they did the best that they could, and it still wasn't enough to overpower the Thunder. So yeah, you want to be worried, but you don't, because it's like this was the expectation. But it's weird because you don't go into a playoff series thinking we're gonna lose, but at the same time, when you play the Thunder, it's kind of like you can't be mad about losing. So yeah, I don't know. The Lakers, they might get bounced. I hope it lasts more than just 4 games. I hope it's a little more competitive than that. Maybe they just needed to get a game under their belt, and maybe JJ Redick can make some adjustments and put this team back in a better position to win in game 2 or 3 and 4 back at home. That'd be great. But yeah, I mean, nobody else was really effective but LeBron out there. If we're just being honest, everybody else was very inefficient except for Rui. Rui had a good game as well. But aside of that, nobody else was efficient at all, and they didn't trust their lineup enough to run a whole lot of people. I mean, Jared Vanderbilt got hurt pretty early into the game. I think it's finger injury of some kind. I don't know how long he's going to be out. He only played 6 minutes in this one, so that's a bad injury. And outside of that, like the only people that played real rotation minutes was Jake LaRavia, Jackson Hayes, and Luke Kennard. But LaRavia and Hayes only gave him 16 and 13 minutes, and Kennard gave him a good 28. But like it just seems like you're only confident if you're JJ Redick, you're only really confident in running six different guys. And even Luke Kennard was a freaking cone out there. He was getting cooked. Whoever he was guarding, like he was just letting it happen. So I don't know. This team has a lot of flaws. I don't know. I don't know. You need Luka to come back, which he probably won't in this series. But you need him in this series bad. I don't even think that's going to save you, but it might make it more competitive and maybe more fun. We did get some Bronny moments at the end, not moments, minutes at the end, and some Dalton Connect minutes. Connect 4 minutes, I'll take it. I was there, so I like seeing Bronny and Dalton Connect play. I guess we got some Kenrich Williams minutes in there. Aaron Wiggins, he only got 5 minutes, but he was an effective 5 minutes. Why not? He was -2, but it was effective. It was effective, and that's just such the dangerous thing about the freaking Thunder, especially whenever you're, the Lakers trying to play the Thunder, is you really only have six guys that you trust, and even outside of that, like Luke Kennard, you can't really trust all the time, especially on the defensive end of the floor. But whenever you're playing the Thunder, they have they have their whole starting five, and then they got one, two, three, four, five, six guys that they trust in a playoff rotation coming off the bench. Six guys that got real playoff minutes. And I know Aaron Wiggins, again, he only had 5 minutes. So even if you want to take him away, still five guys in their rotation who got real playoff minutes and were very effective and they feel confident in. Like there were some rotations, there were some sets where I was looking at Mark like crazy. But it ended up working. It ended up actually being effective. And I know that the rotations are going to be kind of weird because you really want J Dub to be there. And obviously in the playoffs, you can't get away with the same rotations that you could in the regular season. So there were, like I said, a couple I was looking at like that's crazy, Mark. But what are you gonna do when you don't have J Dub? But even with that, like I saw I think there was a lineup out there that had like Jared McCain, Jay Will, Kaysen, I think like Lou and Isaiah Joe or something, or maybe it was Caruso instead. Like pretty much a full bench unit except for Lou Dort. And even then, they were like very effective, man. They were very effective, very great at defense. Obviously, I just don't think that that can be beat out of them. And then offensively, they were still getting it done. They were still keeping the game at least to what it was. So yeah, Lakers didn't have a great game. Maybe they'll step it up in game two, like I said. I'm hoping because one of my friends is a Lakers fan, but also one of my friends is a Thunder fan. So yeah, yeah. I'm just hoping for a better series. To be completely honest with you, I am rooting for the Thunder. I live in Oklahoma, so got a bit of a bias there. Yeah, but yeah, I just want to get my thoughts on that. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think about the Thunder Lakers series. Let me know if I missed anything. If you want me to cover anything. I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. Peace.